Okay, we've got Darren Lyons with us. Daz, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Your assessment of that game this afternoon?
Hard, tough slog, which we thought it would be because they're a big, strong, organised, and I think the position they are in the league doesn't justify what we're seeing today.
There's a few games are going to be like this, aren't they, between now and the end of the season? I mean, at 2-1 you could feel the tension in our support, but I guess that's because of where we are in the league.
Yeah, we've put ourselves on the pedestal to be shot at. I mean, we've said to the lads that just pulling the shirt on is bad enough, but being top of the league as well just gives you that extra, the other teams that extra impetus to come and to prove a point, say.
And because we've got a massive game, a great game, haven't we, on Tuesday night coming up with Ilkeston. I mean, I know every game's important, but some, we're up there with them, and if we could get a result against them, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, first against second. It doesn't need any billing, does it? So,
not really.
They're a good side. What he's doing up there is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they've had 4 or 5 run into the Football League, haven't they? So
yeah.
Credit where credit's due, and they'll come to give us a game, won't they? They're not second in the league for nothing.
No, well, we always admire when they bring academy players through and use set up like Ilkeston. It's something that we're striving to do here as well, of course, aren't we?
Yeah,
so,
definitely. Yeah.
So today's team selection, you brought Dean Stotting, full back. Rory Fallon was on the bench, but he came on later. Greg Daniels came on later. So, what was you thinking before the game?
To be fair, I think our hands were tied a bit because it was Brownie had like a tight hamstring, which had a fitness test before the game, so we didn't want to risk that. As you know, like you just said, big important games coming up. What we got? 13 cup finals now, is it? 12 cup finals. Yeah. So we need them all on blob. Stotty had come back, had a little rest. Rory, the same thing, he got a bad knock on his hip.
Right.
If anybody was there on Tuesday, seen that assault on him. but yeah, that was it. Just precautionary things, really.
And when you made the changes, it did look like they were getting a little bit stronger in midfield, and Callum was kind of struggling on his own, if you like. I know Birchie was in there as well, but it felt like it needed strengthening. Is that the way you saw it?
Yeah, Callum had took a knock. He got
put an ice pack on, didn't he, when he came off?
Yeah, he's got a dead leg, and it was getting stiff at half time. We just tried to run it off and he couldn't do it, so that was it. But put fresh legs on with him and Brownie, and it just changed the game completely, I think.
Well, Shelton had a good game again today. He's a strange one, isn't he? Because he sometimes looks as though he's so angry with himself, and yet scores one, makes one. I don't know whether he thinks he has to do it all on his own.
I think it's just a bit of a personal thing with Shelton, because he sets himself high standards, which all the lads do, to be fair. But if it doesn't go his way, he just he gets a bit, I won't say sulky, but he gets a bit angry with himself, like you say. But after that, he's fine, and the lad's got something else that brings something to the table for us. Like I said a few weeks ago on the radio, he's totally different than what we've already got. Yeah,
and some of his crossing is really good, and we score from it, don't we?
Yeah, because he doesn't panic when he gets there. One thing that I've noticed about him, he doesn't panic when he gets there, and he sort of like picks a man out. I think Greaves has scored off it, Wolf has scored off it, Greg scored off it, because he's not it's not a quick lash across the box and I've done my job. He tries to pick runners out, and he's got different variety to his game. Yeah,
I want to talk about the two at the back, really, because this season was a big unknown with losing Tom Davis and Charlie Raglan last season, and here we are at this stage of the season, and I think the back two are playing absolutely tremendously well. In fact, I think Lewis Lacey's playing out of his skin, really, given, I mean Lucas as well, but where's that come from? If you don't mind me asking you.
No, it's fine. I think it's they've become a partnership because they've played that well together. Yeah. But they also know that they've got two other quality centre halves with the signing of Naya now that are chomping at the bit, and the same as everybody else on the park. You've seen it today. Brownie was out. We've got players and quality for every position.
Do you see Naya getting games now? Is it likely to get a start at some point? Or?
Well, that's Carl's decision ultimately, but you never know. I mean, that's the reason why we signed him. When somebody like that comes available, strength in depth. I think we've got cover for every position now in case of injuries and suspensions and silly little things that go on in the game. But we've got everything covered now.
And the game, as we've talked about, is Tuesday night here, so you won't see the lads before now and then. So, any knocks, any injuries to worry about? You've mentioned a couple already.
Just Callum from today, but the other two lads that like Brownie's hamstring, he should be fine. It just needed a rest. It was just tight. It's not gone or anything like that. It was just tight. Rory's fine, as you see.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we should be all fit and healthy.
Right. So it's. I know you're going to say one game at a time, and that's what I've been saying as well. But it's in our own hands. It's up to us to do the job, I suppose, isn't it now?
Definitely. The lads know that. And like you just said, it's an old cliche, but they are taking one game at a time.
Yeah.
As soon as it was finished today, they were talking about Tuesday.
Right.
And they were talking about it in there, and they'll prepare themselves right, because they're all a good bunch of lads who police themselves fantastic, to be fair. And I know we've gone on about it before, but the togetherness in the dressing room is second to none. It's the best we've ever seen, and that'll carry them through.
And the key thing is, as you've just said, that they do seem very grounded as a bunch, and they're not going to look ahead, are they? They're just going to look to the next game and go out there and try and win it.
They are. I think we've had a few comments that you don't win anything in February, March and all that, and it's true, you don't. But they've put themselves up there. They know they're going to get shot at. They know they're going to have games like that where they've got to grind it out and battle through. Yeah. And it's credit and testament to them what they've done today.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few more of these before the season's out, don't
Yeah, I would imagine so. A few nail biters, shall we say? Yeah. But it's how we come through, isn't it?
Yeah. Congratulations
today. Thank you very much.
That was well, it was tricky to watch. Part of the second half, we were all a bit nervous, but come through in the end.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks a lot.